Hello, my name is Casey Kelsey, and welcome to the Binge Worthy podcast. In this episode, we are going to review the Twilight Saga. Voted and named the worst film. I'm sorry. Let me not do that. Let me not do that. Let me not do that. Let me start over. In this episode, we are going to review the Twilight series. There are 5 movies in this franchise. Talks about sparkling vampires and teen boys morphing into werewolves. So without further ado, the first one. Let's start off with the first one, okay? So Twilight. You guys want me to start, or you like how you want to do this?
We didn't say our names.
I'm like ready for this one. My bad, y'all. Y'all don't even matter right now. I'm just ready to do this review.
I'm dead.
All right, let's rewind this back. Hello, welcome to the Binge Worthy podcast. I'm Casey Kelsey. In today's episode, we are going to review the Twilight series. I'm joined with my co-host, Starlee.
Hi.
And Larasha Simon.
Hello.
Not you putting up the DVD.
All 5 of them.
See, I had them separately.
Oh, honey, I got the what's it called? The 5-movie collection.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's dive into the first Twilight. I think I'm just going to give my initial thoughts of the opening scene here.
Okay.
Opening scene, okay.
Okay, Bella is weird, for starters.
Yep.
The twitching has to stop. I was hoping at some point it would stop, but it never did. Even after the 4th one, it did not stop. I was just like...
What twitch? Give me, what was the scene that she was twitching?
She twitches in every scene. When she talks, she goes like...
Are you just talking about, she's talking about like her mannerism, right?
Oh, okay. Got it.
Awkward. She's just awkward. She stay falling. Like, girl, can you get up?
Well, she was meant to be clumsy.
Yeah.
Okay, but after a while, like, if your whole entire life you're consistently getting chased by vampires, I think at some point in your life you will be like, okay, I need to get it together. But that never happened.
Casey, okay. Pause. Did you read the first book?
I never read any of the books.
See, that's where you're missing character development. Like, yes.
You have to read the books, Casey.
The book shouldn't matter. If this is a best-selling book and you have these movies that are an adaptation of the book, it should be, if this is the best-selling book at the time, or whatever the case may be, the movies should match that level of expectation. And it doesn't.
But the books matter, and you know that in a film you can't include everything. As much as you'd love to appease the fans, you can't include everything.
No, you don't have to include any. Okay, I read Hunger Games, and I think the adaptation of Hunger Games was good.
Absolutely not. They missed a bunch of stuff.
It still was good.
What? That was entertaining.
It was very entertaining.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like Twilight was very low budget. Like the first movie, you could see how the budget increased. New Moon and on.
Yeah, the first movie, I'll admit, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I was happy about it.
Low budget.
So y'all do know that Twilight is named the worst movie ever.
What? By who?
Go look it up. Type in Twilight named the worst movie.
I don't pay too much attention to that because some of my favorite films are not ranked very high.
It's just like, for the first one at least, it's just the acting. I don't know. It bothered me, guys. Like, it was so cringy. Like, okay, can we at least talk like how weird it was when she like walked into the school and all eyes were on her? Like, that is not realistic.
But he told her blood was intense for him.
Not at a high school. Not everybody's a fucking vampire.
Oh, you just mean that everybody was just like looking at her?
Yeah, everyone wants to be her best friend.
She was new in town. They knew everybody. It was
that doesn't happen in real life.
But it was a small school, though. We don't know. Did you go to a small school?
That school was big.
It was small compared to the school I went to in high school.
The population, if you remember the beginning, the population is really small in Fort. So they all know each other, all grew up together. So if somebody new comes in, of course you kind of gonna be looking at them like, oh, who that?
Okay, whoop-de-doo. Everybody wants to be her friend. Let's move on.
Casey's hurt already. All right, keep going.
And then they had this like, I don't know if it's a sexual chemistry, her and Edward, but it just bothered me because they didn't really have sex till like the fourth one. So
well, here's the thing.
Like the 18th century or something.
Yes, Edward was very traditional. He was like a chivalrous kind of man, but also he had to restrain himself a lot because one, he couldn't read her mind, and that was very intriguing to him. If those folks that don't know or forgot, Edward could read minds. That was one of his abilities or powers. And then also, Casey, her blood was it was like appealing.
And then third, he was too strong. Mm-hmm. So he was fearful of hurting her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so her walking into the class and the fan just so happened to be on. So cliche, is it not? No? Okay. Moving on. Is on blowing her scent, and he's literally sitting there as if he's about to like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, his throat was on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all just keep making it worse.
He was thirsty in the best way possible. He was parched.
I can't take it anymore. And why are we not talking about butt crack Santa?
You and this butt crack Santa.
Because there needs to be justice for him. Like, people just forgot about him.
Butt crack Santa.
That's the name that they gave him when Bella and her dad was in the restaurant, and he was talking about how he's like the town Santa Claus, and they named him Butt Crack Santa.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, Charlie was always interesting.
Who is Charlie?
Her dad.
He was weird too. His mustache gave me weird vibes.
Charlie's amazing.
All right, are we done with the first one? Because I can go on and on and on.
Is there more you would like to say? Come on.
No.
So, I will say that the first film, if you did read the series, the first film did not strike you as that amazing.
No, and the costumes, like, what's her name? Her wig was terrible.
Alice, Rosalie.
The one that can, the one with the short hair, she had.
Alice. Her hair got better. Like I said, the first movie was really low budget.
Her wig, I was like, oh Lord.
The first film also went quite slow, and they missed the mark on quite a few things that, as Casey was saying, did not stay true to the book. So
yeah, like they didn't tell about. I think Rosalie got her own background. Emmett didn't get his background. They touched briefly on Jasper. They didn't touch a lot about Alice and her background.
Yeah, you just see some film or some stories unravel throughout the rest of the films.
Mm-hmm. So it's really about Bella falling and twitching and falling in love with a vampire.
Yeah, discovering this new world.
Okay.
And then we move into New Moon,
which was trash.
Don't say that. Okay, before we start discussing New Moon, you must tell the people, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
I'm Team nobody, because New Moon is New Moon is about committing suicide to fall in love. What is this? Romeo and Juliet? Is this?
He wasn't committing suicide.
I mean, star. star.
Not committing suicide. She was doing risky things. Yes,
It
but she was.
doesn't matter. Why are you putting yourself in danger to see this guy? I want to let our listeners know that I watched all 5 movies for this review. New Moon by far was the worst.
Worst. It was the worst. And let me tell you why.
Okay, tell us why, because I feel like you're betraying me right now, Rush.
Here, hold up, friend. Here's my mic. Are you ready? I'm holding lip gloss, y'all, for those that are listening. Here's the mic. While I said Twilight, the first movie, was low budget, New Moon has by far the worst storyline, and let me tell you why. Not only did Edward...
Killer movie, yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Not only did Edward leave her, and she was like, oh, I don't want to be here, and sat in a chair for months. She was like, I'm going to do risky things. So he'll show up like he did the first time when I hopped in the back of a... No, it was like these guys, right? And then she ended up hopping on a motorcycle, and her friend was like, what are you doing? What? I didn't come out for this. Whatever. Anyway, so then her crutch is Jacob, which I also don't like, because not only did she not heal by herself, she found another male companion from a different tribe, which they don't like. So Edward could never see her because he can't even step foot over there, to heal her. And then Alice just popped up out of nowhere.
And she did.
Was like, hey girl, are you alive? Because I saw you jump off a cliff. And Edward now is going to, end it all because he doesn't think you're
Romeo
alive.
and Juliet.
Yeah.
So he then goes to do his little razzle dazzle in the sun to see the Volturi, so he can get ripped to shreds. It's a fantasizing of trauma and attempted to end their lives. However, by far, it is the worst supported storyline in the whole saga. I dropped my mic.
Yes. Okay. And I want to add on to everything that LaRasha has said. I know it may seem like she's betraying you, Star, but I agree.
No, I get what she's saying. I get what she's saying.
In addition to that, this is my little... Nobody asked the question of why Jacob is half naked.
Oh, that's because it's just easier for when he turns into a wolf.
I know. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Bella. I'm talking about the characters in the movie, because she didn't know he was a wolf at first until he revealed himself.
That's accurate.
But girlfriend, he done came around you with his shirt off many times. For me, I would have been like, dog, why is your shirt always off? Like,
Also, did they not think we were gonna miss the recast?
No, they made it known that she wasn't returning. That was a big thing.
Why?
I don't recall why she didn't return.
I don't know.
I fully understand your perspectives. It's not my favorite film out of the series. I guess because I just focus so much on like the end of the film.
Everything is about Bella. Vampires want to kill her, and then you got a wolf and a vampire,
fighting for your love.
Fighting for her. And it's just like, again, this whole killing yourself thing was really like, not for love, baby. Not for love. And then she
was kind of scary too when she was waking up screaming and stuff.
Right. And then she had the audacity knowing that she was going to get hurt. I know she wants to save Jacob, but girl, you ain't no vampire. What you gonna do? Now you just stirred up all this trouble for Eclipse. Because now they know that you know too much.
Right.
So again, this would have never happened if Homegirl would never jumped in that freaking water.
Oh yeah, because Alice couldn't see when the wolves were around. She only could see like specks of things.
Right. So, and then even then, she didn't bring up the question about Jacob. Homeboy still got his shirt off.
Yo, what?
My point on New Moon is this: it's another Romeo and Juliet.
It is. It
Yeah.
is actually, and I'm a huge Twi fan. It's my least favorite film out of the series overall.
Next to Twilight, I agree.
But I like the soundtrack.
Now listen, don't even get me started on the soundtracks because Twilight's soundtrack slapped.
Yeah,
I
it
can
did.
mute myself and let you guys talk.
Really
No,
quick.
the second soundtrack is great. It's all I have to say.
Yes. Wait, I have one thing though. I Caught Myself by Paramore. She still didn't release that nowhere. You only get a live version. Kind of salty about that. That's all.
We can move forward now, Casey, into Eclipse,
Eclipse.
which Larasha said was the best one. Or did you say it was the best one?
Yeah, it was like it's interchangeable with Breaking Dawn too.
So it's so Eclipse is about they're putting a hit out on her, right?
Yeah.
From
And she's still worried about the Volturi because she ain't changed yet.
and you got all these new vampires, correct?
Mhm.
Yep. Because Victoria was raging a war. Yeah.
Yep.
With newborns.
We meet Seth, right, in this one?
Seth
Or
Clearwater.
yeah. Okay. Well, this is where his character comes out more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the start of his. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still not my favorite. It's still not my favorite one. Eclipse is really it's really just about Bella and her terrible actions and again, two guys fighting for her love. And Jacob gets upset that he gets an invitation at the end. That's the whole movie.
Not the whole movie. It's not her fault they're both in love with her. Edward was always going to let her choose.
Yeah, he was.
But she said yes when he proposed.
Okay, because she was
But
in love
that's
with
what
him
she
more.
wanted to do.
She said, I love you, but I love you more.
Yeah.
But poor Jacob, like,
Jacob will be alright. He's alright. He's alright. Years later.
saved you from freezing to death.
That's true, though.
Yeah, that's true.
No heater.
My man can't cuddle me and make me warm.
That's true. You can't warm my feet.
See,
That's it.
I don't want him. You can't do that.
Ah! Casey said, if he can't warm me, I don't want him. I don't want him.
Mm-mm.
Companionship, I don't want him. They can't make you warm. Valid.
That was true.
I just feel like Jacob provided more of a just comparing how Jacob is and Edward. I feel like Jacob protects. It's more of a protection. It's the protection part for me. It seems like she gets in more trouble being around Edward, and yeah, and I can't wrap my head around. Girl, just be with Jacob. Be happy with the
But I
little.
feel like Jacob also forced it too much. Like he made her feel bad about it. He didn't just let it like naturally like happen.
Yeah.
He was just forcing it. Like, calm down, man.
Because he loved her so much. He was so.
Who did really love though?
Well, obviously not if he gonna date the daughter, which that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. That.
Oh, wow. We'll get to that star.
Again, vampires want to kill her. Two men are arguing over her, and then they come together to protect her. And then they're like, "Well, you can choose." And then she's like, "I'm gonna choose Edward." So that's the whole movie.
And then, well, she put him in a huge predicament too because she wanted to change into like a vampire. Like Rosalie, I felt bad for her too because like she didn't choose that life for herself. So Bella was kind of treating it like whatever in a sense.
But here's the thing about that also bothered me, that little subplot as well, because Jacob kept saying, if you turn into a vampire,
They can't protect you.
we can't protect you. We actually want to kill that family. So like,
Would have broke the treaty.
yeah, like we can't protect you. But then it was kind of a contradiction because then he ends up protecting her. Even then some, like, well, that's my friend. I'm still gonna protect her. But it's just like a part of me wanted Bella to be like, I don't want neither one of you then.
Yeah, because they risk their lives and they risk, going hungry.
For her.
Yeah.
For a twitching, falling,
Casey!
Not again.
Right again.
Yes, again, LaRasha.
That's just like was her way of trying to really get into the character because Bella was so awkward. Did you know that originally the actress Ashley Greene who played Alice was actually auditioned for Bella's role?
Dang, and then they gave her that badass wig.
Yeah, Alice, which she was a great Alice.
Do you think she would have made a better Bella though?
I don't know. I tried to picture somebody because I will admit I had this very clear picture of who I thought the character of Bella would be in my mind when I read the books. And when I first saw the Twilight, the first film, it kind of threw me off with the character choice to play her because it didn't quite connect at first for me. It didn't hit for me. So I see slightly what you said, Casey. It didn't hit, but she grew on me. She grew on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think ultimately she ended up doing it justice.
Breaking Dawn Part 1. Go.
So I'm here for the honeymoon and the trip. It kind of threw me for the loop with the Casey's nodding. This is not as bad as it's gonna go. I was like, girl, she had a dream about her
Her grandmother?
standing over the bodies and Edward just kind of being there with her.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the wedding itself, great. The ring, gorgeous. The fake faux ship of her friends standing like she has to be pregnant blew my mind. But that happens in many cases of people getting married. There's people who are like, oh yeah,
they were only she was only 18.
Yeah, like she has to be pregnant or whatever. But also like the underratedness of like Anna Kendrick throughout the whole series. It just
she was funny.
Boggles me.
She was funny.
She had me rolling. Now when they get to the island and they finally have sex and they're bumping and grinding and the the housekeeper came in and she was like, oh, like I have an issue with you being with him because they know, which is wild. Like you go to a really sunny place and you glitter in the sun.
Well, it's an island where no one else is at, really.
Oh yeah. But then like the people who live there know that they're not human. It's just kind of wild to me. Also, how did he not know that he was going to get her pregnant?
Well, they'd never heard of it before. It was never a thing.
The thawing system. Think about it.
But that's the part that I wanted to talk about too, because first of all, vampires are dead, right?
Essentially, yeah. Well,
okay. Okay. What type of sperm does a vampire have? Because
it's frozen. It's frozen.
I'm
That's why I said it was thawing.
To as how she got pregnant, and then this baby is like growing at a very rapid pace, like just growing, eating her alive. Oh my gosh, she looks so ugly.
Okay, yeah, that was believable in the end. I'm like, she looked messed up.
She did, but it just blew me because that whole scene was like another cringing moment, like, because he could hurt her.
Yeah.
So you waited. We on movie number 4?
Yeah, this is for part 1.
So they've been having this intense chemistry. I just feel like this is what happens when you wait so long. Like if my man cannot
well, he wanted to wait until she was a vampire, but she wanted to do it.
Okay, but back to her actions, her terrible actions. Girl, you nearly got your cuckoo ripped apart. You didn't want to be a vampire. You wasn't a vampire. Like, come on.
Can I just talk about the logistics of it though, really quick? If we're talking about anatomy and health, like if he's technically dead, frozen, shouldn't every part be frozen?
Yeah, you know what? I never thought about that. All these years, I've never thought about
That's why I
that.
said, did she thaw him out? Like, I'm confused.
Well, maybe it was so warm inside there, you know.
Oh my God, no.
No.
I mean, they allude to it though. They do allude to it. That's all.
Yeah.
I just don't know how she was satisfied with that performance.
Well, she wanted to do it again in the morning. So.
In the next day.
And a day after that.
Then she was pregnant. And first of all, here's a PSA. White people who maybe don't have the melanin, that's okay. If you do not know how to cook chicken all the way through, do not cook fried chicken. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She really fried those thighs and thought that was done.
She was hungry.
No.
She was up in that.
Absolutely not.
She was messing that chicken up too.
Like, what? Because that's how she found out she was like, she didn't feel good. And then she's like, wait a minute.
And then she's like, I'm late. She went to the mirror. Oh, I felt something kicking there. That happened fast. Everything happened real fast. Casey, like,
This one was okay because of the storyline. I like the storyline in Breaking Dawn Part 1. Out of like all of not all of them, because we got to get to Part 2. But comparing it to Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse, out of these four, Part 1 is probably, the storyline was a little bit better. It just bothers me that it took her to get pregnant to finally become
vampire.
Yeah, because like she was already dead, so there was only one way to bring her back alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to put emphasis on how ugly she looked. She looked very. Yes.
Well, they were ripping a little baby half vampire out of her.
I know, and she looked terrible. I was like, damn. Part 2. Let's get to it.
Best in the franchise.
Yes, I agree.
I agree that this was my favorite one.
Yes. The only reason why I like it as much is because I think this is the first time where Bella could run without falling. And this is the first
Yo.
and she actually has these, like, her power is actually pretty dope. I like her power.
The development of her power.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty dope. And then the ending for me, I loved, because the first time I watched it, I didn't know it was like this dream. And the fact that it was a vision from, what's the daughter's name?
Alice.
Yes, from the daughter. I just was like, had the franchise started with that, I probably would really, really
didn't have the budget.
I don't care.
Didn't have the budget. That was a multi-million-dollar film.
Oh, I cussed when that scene happened. I was like the only one, and everybody was like, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because like everybody was dying, and I'm like, they're losing.
Yeah, when they killed Carlisle, I was like, oh,
yes, it's Seth. Oh my goodness! I was
the baby Seth. And then they
was running, and he heard it. It's just like it made me.
He saved Ismay too, and I was like,
yo, but can we also talk about the development of the other vampires? Like, I really liked and appreciate seeing like the bending of the water and
yeah, all their powers were super cool.
Yeah, but the one thing.
What is it?
The one thing that I just
tell us.
Jacob falling in love with a little
Renee Zellweger?
That ain't right, because she was just a kid you talking about.
Again, you didn't read the book.
Yeah, the book has different yes, the flag was waved a little bit. However, I think you have the context of the book.
Okay, what's in the book? Tell me right now.
It's more of like a companionship.
Yeah, it's more like brother, sister,
protector, like
in the book and they still fall in love?
It's. Did you hear what I just said? It's a companion.
You said it's like companionship, and then Star goes brother, sister. So in the book, do they still fall in love?
You could be a companion to someone, be in love with him, and not be sexual.
Not when you add brother, sister to it.
But I think it's just, I get what Casey's saying, but like those are the phases that they go through before even getting to that.
So why don't you should have just told someone like me they started off as close friends.
Yeah.
But I still have an issue with that. You're a grown ass man.
Yeah. And that's why Bella was so mad, because she's like, you're putting on my daughter.
Yeah.
You know?
How she doing, Star?
You're putting on my daughter? Are you crazy?
No.
And then she was like, Edward, stand back. I don't want to hurt you. You know?
Listen, the part that threw me for the loop is the fact that they CGI'd a different person's face on a baby. That's the part that got me.
I didn't like that either.
The green screen was terrible when Bella, and she was, that was not, they should just got a real baby. But hey, you guys talk about budgeting, right?
Yo, Casey's mad, yo.
This is the 5th one. They couldn't get a baby.
Listen, let me tell you. Rank order. Breaking down 2, Eclipse. Breaking down 1, New Moon, and then Twilight.
Can I go?
Yep.
Breaking down part 2.
Okay.
Breaking down part 1.
Okay.
Eclipse. Twilight, New Moon.
I think I have the same exact order. Yeah, Breaking Dawn part 2, then part 1, Eclipse, Twilight, and then New Moon. Y'all still haven't answered my question.
What was your question?
Are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Edward.
Period.
Say it.
Casey,
Say less.
Casey, I think she Team Jacob. I think so.
I think I was up until part 2 when I found out I was a predator.
Not a predator.
I'm Team Edward all the way.
Yeah, I think she was bound to be with Edward, but poor Jacob. I think Jacob did do a lot, but he was a sweetheart. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. Do you guys got anything to add? No?
The soundtracks are bomb. If you don't like the
Yes,
movie, at least the soundtracks are good.
Team Edward all day, every day.
Team Edward. All right, is the Twilight Saga binge worthy?
100%, because I feel like it's a coming of age movie.
Okay, Star.
I'm going to play with you today. I say, of course, 100% it is, because I am a real life Twi fan. I say read all of the books and then watch the movies. I was that Twilight person. I had a Twilight room, the posters, everything. So I 1,000% recommend it. Yes, Casey, I did. I did have a Twilight. I had the blanket. I had the poster. I had the collectible Edward and Bella doll. I had all the movies.
Okay, Star.
I had the jury box.
Not you having the Bella doll.
I had the Edward and Bella doll. I don't have them anymore though. But they were collectibles, I think. I never opened them. But yeah.
All right, and then there was one. I'm probably the only person that, if you want to watch a movie where you like a good vampire human love story and you want to see teens turn into werewolves and teens shining in the sun by any means,
I'm bright like a diamond.
go watch it. However, 5 movies was very cringy to me. I cringed at every single one at some point. It didn't matter which one it was. I didn't want to, like, my head just, right? I do not think that it is binge worthy.
Lies.
I do not think it's binge worthy, meaning that you should, like, sitting there and watching these movies for this review was like the worst. I fell asleep on the first one. Had to do it all over again because. And then Eclipse, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I was just fast forwarding to the parts that I wanted to talk about. To make sure
fast forwarding.
just to make sure that, you know, my reasons are valid and I had the evidence. Breaking Dawn Part 2 is probably the only one I watched all the way through because I really enjoyed that one. But no, I do not think the Twilight Saga is binge worthy. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. All right, so LaRasha thinks that Twilight is binge worthy, so does Star, but Casey does not.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. I'm Casey Kelsey.
I'm Starly.
And I'm LaRasha Simon.
Peace.